Hey everybody, before I get started, I just want to mention a couple of ways that you can engage with me on a more personal level. I have a few avenues set up and I keep focusing on one, and I figured why don't I make a short little video talking about all of them real quick before we get into these episodes. So first thing, Patreon. There's a link in the episode description, in every episode description to the Patreon, as well as a video on the feed called Major Announcement that has all the details of what each tier offers and how much they cost. I implore you to check that out. I offer a lot of cool shit for my patrons. Second thing, the Discord channel. There's also a Discord link in the episode description and in every episode description. I have multiple channels set up there for each show that I'm covering, and it's a great way to just engage with me. I have a channel set up for MMA talk as well. I'm a big MMA fan, so if you're an MMA fan, you can check that out as well. There's a link to the Discord in the episode description. And then lastly, the Facebook and Twitter. Social media. Follow me on there. I post news on there. When I say news, I mean like, hey, I'm stopping covering this show. Hey, I'm starting covering this show. Let me know what you think about this. I do live watches of things on Facebook where like I'll check in and say I'm watching so-and-so show, and then I'll like live comment while I'm watching it, and that'll be cool if maybe you watch that show too and you want to watch along with me, or you're watching it later and you will see my thoughts, which are usually pretty entertaining because I'm usually pretty high when I'm writing them. So check out all those links in each episode description, and let's talk about this episode. Peace.
One mic, one mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic. One mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic. One mic. One mic.
Hey everybody, welcome back to One Mic, and today I'm here to talk about episode 3 of the new HBO limited series The Idol, entitled Daybreak. The episode title is based off of the last song that Jocelyn ever wrote or some shit. I don't know. Sorry guys, I hate to say it. I'm done covering this show. I can't. This will be my last Idol video. Psych, I'm just kidding. I'm not sorry about it at all. This show is awful. You thought I was going to say, psych, I'm not stopping. No, I'm stopping. I'm not sorry. I don't hate to say it at all. The only reason I'm even doing this video is because there's some specific moments of awful that I want to talk about before I bid my coverage of this show farewell. I'm going to keep watching the show. So if you want to talk about it, hit me in the Discord, which again, the Discord, if you watch this, you saw it I talked about it in the opening clip, and you can find it in the comments. Hit the Discord, and I'll still keep watching the show. So if you want to talk about how shitty it is, feel free. But like I said, this will be the last video. But I do have some stuff I want to talk about. So I have several problems with this show, and they all were present in this episode, and clearly they are not going to be remedied. So let's talk about them so I can end my time with the show. And I said at the beginning that I didn't know, and when I say the beginning, I mean the beginning of my coverage, my episode 1 video, that I didn't know what this show was going to be yet. In order to judge it. So I didn't really feel like I could sit in front of you guys and say, I think this is a bad show, or I think this is going to be a good show. I was just kind of like, I need to see what this is going to be first. But now, after 3 episodes, I think it's pretty clear what it's going to be, and that it's going to be nothing more than what it appeared to be in episode 1, which is a run-of-the-mill show about a scumbag, a controlling scumbag who manipulates a young woman, but with like red lights, titties, and cum shots, and that's gonna be your show. And you know, I said it was important that this show have something unique to say to justify its existence, and it doesn't. It's not special at all. It's taking overdone material and trying to shine it up to trick you into thinking it's something new, when it's the same fucked up old broke down car just with a new paint job on it. Like that's what this show is. The same fucking jalopy, same fucking hoopty, just with ice cream paint job on it. Like the scenes where he snaps on people, like now that he's comfortable in his role within the hierarchy in Jocelyn's life, all of those scenes were terrible. Like when he tells Leah, the assistant, that he's running the show now, terrible scene. Like delivered terribly, but like on its face is just a poorly written moment and a poorly thought of or envisioned scene / moment. Like he asked something about, like he's like, when can we, I think it was something about a video, like when can we do this video with Jocelyn, something like that. And Leah's like, I don't know yet, I gotta check with Jocelyn. He's like, I know it's gonna be hard for you to hear, but I'm running the show now. And I'm just like, okay, so you running the show doesn't telepathically put Jocelyn's schedule into her head, so she still needs to talk to Jocelyn. And then she says that. She's like, okay, but I still need to talk to Jocelyn. And then he's like, I'm running the show. right, look, bro. Like, I don't know how many times you think telling me that you running the show is gonna put this information into my brain, but I don't have it. I don't know where Jocelyn is or where she's gonna be at 3 p.m. tomorrow, 3 p.m. Thursday, 2 p.m. Friday. I don't know, you can tell me you running the show over and over and over. I still don't know when we gonna be able to do the video shoot for Jocelyn without asking Jocelyn. Like, it's like, I don't know. It was such a bad scene, and he thinks repeating it again makes it scary. Or I think maybe the showrunners or whoever, the director thinks repeating it again makes it scary, but it just made the character and the actor look silly. Like, did I not look silly when I'm just like, yeah, I'm running the show? Like, well, I don't know where Jocelyn is at, but look, I'm running the show though. Like, I still don't know where she at. Like, I don't know, man. It was a bad scene. It's the same with the guy he snapped on at the clothing store for looking at Jocelyn, and with the chef for touching her. Like, I've seen these moments over and over and over as examples of a controlling man in television and in film, but I've seen it done better in pretty much, if not every single instance that I've already seen it. Like, in these moments, I legit wasn't even sure how to interpret the Weeknd's actions. Like, they're obviously going for, oh my God, this guy is terrible. But the Weeknd's delivery is so bad that I can never really tell if he's serious or not. Like, I'm just saying, like, is he being for real right now? Like, I feel like everybody else in the room is even kind of like, am I supposed, like, is he for real? Like, am I supposed to think this is hard right now? He out here slapping people, though? Like, my wife's like, I'm surprised he ain't slapping back. I'm like, me too. And that's our problem. Because if you want us to believe that this guy is intimidating and he can walk into this situation with this pop star and he's so good at being manipulative and he's so good at being controlling that he can insert himself into this situation and run the show, I shouldn't be sitting here going, I'm surprised they ain't slap him back. Because if I'm surprised he ain't get slapped back, then he's not giving me the caliber of character that he needs to be giving me. Him getting slapped back should not have entered my mind. It should not have been a possibility because he's so much in charge. But I just don't buy anything he's doing. I can't tell if he's serious. Like, everything seems like I said about the one sex scene from an earlier episode where I was like, I couldn't tell if he was like trying to talk dirty or if he was trying to distract her while he robbed her. Like, all of that vibe comes through in all of these moments where he's trying to be scary or he's trying to be sexy. All of them come off like, is that what he's going for? It's not working, dog. Like, I can never tell if, like, is he authentically going for sexy or is he trying to trick her? Is he authentically going for scary or is he trying to be scary? But then it's like everyone's buying it. So I'm like, if they're going for, like, oh, he thinks he's intimidating, but he's not, that would be interesting if they did that. But they're not doing that. So I don't know. It's just so bad. And then the scenes were all cut and edited out of order chronologically for some reason. Like you went from like the clothing store to Leah, then back to the clothing store, then to the chef, and it's like, it was just weird, off-putting, and bad. Like, I didn't like any of it. And it's like all of these aspects of the show are so bad, and then they just go, let's just have him eat her pussy in the car and fuck her in the dressing room and wipe the nut on the dress, and everything's gonna be fine. We'll be trending on Twitter, and then everything will work out. And it's like they're trying to mask how terrible every aspect of the show is by pushing the envelope with the sex stuff. And it's super blatant, super obvious they're doing that, and I can't understand how the same person who makes Euphoria makes this. Like, I feel like, and if Sam Levinson, if you're watching this and this is not the case, I kind of want to apologize, but I'm not accusing you of this. I'm saying this is what the show feels like. It feels like The Weeknd came to you with a truckload of money and a shitty idea to insert himself into a softcore porn because he wanted to do that. and you decided in that moment that you could be bought and that telling an interesting story and putting out quality material wasn't as important as you thought it was because The Weeknd came to you with a shitty enough idea but enough money that you would do it. Like, that's what it feels like, and I'm not saying that's what it is, which is why I'm not apologizing, but that's what it feels like. I feel like Euphoria has so much to say, and I feel like, I said it last week, I feel like this show is the show that I have to tell people that Euphoria isn't. I have to say Euphoria is not that. It has something important to say about drugs and about addiction and what that can do to your life. It's not just just sex and dicks and interesting lighting. That's what this is. That's what this show is. It doesn't have anything interesting to say. It's just sex and dicks and lighting. And that's not dicks, titties, and lighting. And that's it. And I don't know, that sucks. Another example, the B plot, if you could call it that, is Chaim and the black lady. I think her name starts with a D. I don't know. They're trying to do damage control, and they're talking with this other guy whose name I also don't care to learn. And he says that they're shitting more blood than a kid on Epstein's island. And I'm just like, that's the kind of line that shows you the caliber of people you have working on this show. Like, the material itself is so bad that in the interest of being edgy and extreme, they're willing to write a line like that. Like, it's not funny. Like, that's not... It reeks of the kind of remedial... And when I say remedial, I mean that with as much offense as I could possibly give it. Like, you are just barely above the line of, like, disabled. That's how remedial... Sorry, I hit the camera. That's how remedial I think you are if your sense of humor is... The more edgy it is and the more extreme, the funnier that makes it. If that's how your brain works, you are a step below moron. Like, you're even stupider than moron. And your concept of humor is remedial, it's juvenile, it's childlike. Like, you don't even fully understand how humor works if you think more edgy equals more funny. And that's what that line was. That line was, I'm going to say the wildest shit that I could say, and people were like, oh, wow, holy shit. And all that did was make me scrunch up my nose and go, what kind of cunt wrote this line? And it's a terrible strategy to use a line like that for such an unsavory purpose, like trending on social media, because you can't trend on social media because your show is good, like Succession. You have to trend on social media with cum shot picture as album cover and with kids bleeding assholes. Like what the fuck, dog? That was the moment where I'm like, yeah, no, we're done here. Like, this we don't need to spend any more time with this. And then the scene where Jocelyn is talking about her mom and it's blended in with that random girl Chloe playing the piano. Dog, what the fuck was that? Like, was that supposed to be poignant? Like, it looked like moving, and when I say moving, I don't mean heartfelt. I mean moving and like in motion. It looked like a Sears family portrait that was moving. Like, that's what that looked like. Like, what the fuck was that, dog? Like, and that's another thing. Like, do they think the music that's within the show is good? And I don't mean the soundtrack. I mean, like, that dumbass family song from last week and whatever this was with her playing the piano. Like, am I meant to be taking these scenes seriously? Because I was just laughing. And I'm laughing at the family song. I'm laughing at this one. And it was so bad. I'm just like, why is it like slowly, like they're bringing in the, like in the corner and shit. Like, it looked like a family portrait. They're like slowly blending in this thing, her playing the piano. I'm like, dog, this is the corniest fucking Hallmark movie bullshit I've ever seen, dog. Like, it's like, man, when this show is trying to mask how bad it is, it gets worse. Because it uses bad show tactics to try to mask how it's a bad show. Like, it's like, it feels like no one here knows what they're doing. I'm sorry. And I don't like saying that because I don't like the arrogance of like, I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sitting here on this side of the camera not making shows. So I don't know what I'm doing. But I do know what a shitty show when I see one, and I do know very classless and thinly veiled attempts at masking how shitty your show is with shock humor and shocking moments. I know that when I see it, and that's what's happening here. And you cannot know whether you're Sam Levinson, whether you're one of the actors in the show, whether you're one of the writers, the editor. You cannot sit across me and look me in the eye and tell me that's not what's happening here. That's absolutely what the fuck is happening here. It's a shitty show, and they're masking it with shock, and that's what it is. You cannot lie to me and tell me it's anything better than that. It's not trying to do anything smart. It's not trying to do anything unique or creative. The Weeknd did not have a good idea. He had a regular fucking idea that was like, hey, It's just something that's been made 8 million times, but in this, I get to, like, be involved and have sex and stuff. Like, no. And then he tried to shame her. Sorry, he tried to shame her to talk about her dead mom at dinner. Like, what the fuck am I watching right now? Like, why did he try to shame her into talking about her dead mom at dinner? Like, you couldn't even save it for dessert. Like, dog, I'm trying to slice my steak, dog, and I'm not talking about dead parents right now. And he's like, and then she's like, yeah, my mom used to beat the shit out of me with a shoe in order to motivate me. It was terrible and I'm traumatized. And Tedros' big takeaway is like, so you're saying if I hit you with this shoe, it'll motivate you to make good music? And she's like, yeah. The show was so fucking dumb. Like, what? I'm done with this show, guys. I'm sorry. I'm done. Bye. Peace.